We found that the areas that were that received money initially were private housing, and places that were primarily rented, private sector rented properties that were on the main arterial routes in and out of the city, so that it looked as though the money was having some real benefit. But you only had to drive off those main roads to see that there was dereliction and there was poverty and dreadful housing conditions. I moved there in 1992. I'd previously lived very close. I wanted to stay in the area, and I took a masonette. And people were staggered that I would take one of these places. They couldn't give them away. I'm trying to think of what year it was. I actually moved out. It had been 2003, I think it was, when I moved and when the estate was finally demolished. I was one of the last people to leave. The people that lived there were mostly grateful to go, because it was a dreadful place to live. Just about everything was boarded up. Most of the places were boarded up by then, and it was lawless, and it was uncomfortable for people to live in for the most part. I was moved to a sundry property, only about 200 yards away from where I originally lived. I've got single glazing. I've got a boiler that should be in a museum. The plaster's fallen off the walls. It's in a dilapidated and very poor condition. The money for demolition was initially earmarked by the council. It's their responsibility. If they're going to knock down a housing estate, they have to provide the money for demolition. New Deal offered £1 million out of the 52 million just to have the site cleared faster. To leave the place just grassed over now. It's been like that for about 7 years. To me, regeneration, you have a situation where the land has been offered to developers at effectively no cost at all, at no price. It's been offered free to developers. It's a valuable piece of real estate, and we were told by the council before demolition that the land was worth nothing. Well, of course it was worth little or nothing while it was still occupied by council tenants, and there were run down and dilapidated council accommodation, council buildings on the site. As soon as that was cleared, using the public money from the council through the demolitions budget, plus the extra £1 million from New Deal of public money, once that money had been used to clear the estate, it becomes a valuable piece of land.